snacks.
What it do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I am here with Sin.
Yes, sir.
And you are now tuned into Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and talk about the things that are happening in pop culture. And today, we are back to an old version of normal.
Pretty much.
No jokes. Probably coming in hot, but like, you know, I know you guys love him. We do too. If he doesn't make it, it's okay. Into the episode, don't panic.
Right.
You know, sometimes things just
happens that way.
Yeah, 100%. In the absence of the new Joker himself, Sin will get the Beacons link up for those of you who are here and joining us as we march our way into this illustrious episode filled with pop culture things to speak on. And then
Cuddy.
What up, Cut? Thanks, bro. It's good to be back. Sin.
Yeah.
Do your job, sir.
So let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, Alex Lee, Alice Mbe, and Kermit Ferguson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
100%, 1,000%, 100% times 1,000%. Sin.
Yeah.
We are. Listen. JSG, Sony didn't shut down. Like I know that there's more to that statement. We're gonna get there, I swear. Early. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Mama.
Oh, Nana, thank you. It's the 10th anniversary. I'm getting in there. It's coming up. We're like a week and a half out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? On that note,
thank you, but we remember K-Sean.
I know who it is. You know what I mean?
Talking about you earlier.
I used to talk to K every day. It was that, and that's not a good thing. But like, it was cool to talk to K, Sean. But like, that was not a good thing. Work related though. I'm early. I haven't been watching you guys because of my schedule, but now my new job has me training, so that's why I caught you guys finally. That's what's up.
Awesome.
Couple things. Congrats on the new job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And congrats on an updated schedule. That seems like maybe that works a little better for you. I like that. There's a lot happening over the next couple of weeks. So before we get all the way into the show, we got to discuss a couple of those things.
Right.
I don't know, a lot of those things. This weekend, Extra Life. We're going to get into the details in a little bit, but the team will be streaming this weekend, Friday through Sunday. We're going to have some folks joining us. Frosty, who you all know from joining us on several things. My daughter Zaina is going to join us like she has for the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
We will be gaming to raise money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Sin, if you would go ahead and drop that link for folks. You don't have to wait until we go live to donate. You can certainly donate now. But feel free to jump in and watch us when the time comes. Again, we'll discuss the schedule and what's going on with that and what games we're playing and all that jazz a little bit later in the show. But that's this weekend. The following weekend, we will be... What's happening? Listen, Ellis, come on, bro. I said, whoa, the champ.
Yeah.
The champ. The double champ.
The dual champion, yeah.
To the camera. You know,
no, it's It's Crown Jewel this weekend during Extra Life. I might bring him closer to the camera. Who knows?
Maybe just present a little.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Come on the shoulder while we're running something. Yeah, you know.
I need you to understand, Gail, is that like if he zooms in, right? Which I'm sure could be done. We're gonna lose the One Piece flag, and that, sir, can't happen. Like we can't. Like it's part of the shot. You just gotta accept. As big of a deal as wrestling is, I'm gonna hedge my bets on One Piece is more important than wrestling to somebody. That's all I'm saying. Now, back to the schedule.
Right.
So Extra Life this weekend, and then next weekend we're doing a bit of a meetup. So we'll post when and where. But the following Saturday, we will be doing a meetup for the 10th anniversary of Loading Snacks. And look, we're local to the DMV. If you're here, you can make it. By all means, come hang out with us for a little bit. We're just gonna do some messing around and hanging out and playing some video games at like a local Dave & Buster's kind of thing. It'll be a good time. Somebody's gonna drink. I'm not going to say any more than that. The following weekend, on the 16th, we will be at Nerdpocalypse in Baltimore.
Yep.
At the Power Plant Live, hosting and shenanigizing because that's what we do. So we'll be there all day. That's 3 to 9 on the 16th. And then we get a little bit of a reprieve through Thanksgiving and so forth. And then in the beginning of December, second week of December, we're Ocean City Comic-Con. Champ has those titles on his shoulder. We would drop a tear like Prince. I doubt it. I doubt it. You know what I mean? So it's perfect. What's up, Heather? So that's basically the rundown for the majority of what's happening the rest of the year, though we will be getting a little bit into New Year's. Popeyes and pajamas is always a thing.
Yeah.
A New Year's. Ellis says 10-year celebration. Y'all party too hard with shots. Who parties too hard with shots?
Yeah, I'll do shots.
Hey, Sean. It doesn't have to be Patron, but there will definitely be tequila. I am going to say that. That's definitely happening. Too hard with shots, Ellis? You remember those story of your life away parties, sir?
That's the first thing that popped in my head when he said that. I was like, hey.
Oh, you definitely got your glasses steamed up off those 911. So that was a real thing. That was a real thing. Things off. Ooh. Yeah, like 20 years ago. Yikes. That's a long time ago. So our schedule's pretty packed. There's a lot happening over the next 2 months. And then literally it doesn't stop after that. There's a lot of things that are on the docket for January, February, March, and April. So we'll just continue pushing, moving, making things happen. Next week, while I'm thinking about it on the subject, we will be talking about some of our favorite moments that have happened as Loading Snacks over the last 10 years. So please feel free to watch, to go back and look at clips that you may remember from stuff on YouTube, or moments if you have seen us somewhere or whatever. Feel free to chime in with some of your own memories and so forth. But that's mostly what next week's show is going to be about, unless there is some sort of ridiculous news that we absolutely must discuss. We will certainly put our stuff on the back burner.
Right.
To talk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To talk the news.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, Kayshawn, let's get to what you're talking about, sir. Look at here. Listen, we have discussed multiple times on this show Firewalk Studios, Concord, Sony, PlayStation, the live service strategy and
Yeah.
so forth. And unfortunately, the last time we talked about this, we talked about Concord getting shut down after only like 2 weeks live. And at that time, what was said in the statement was we're going to kind of fall back, look at some things, reassess, and come back with some more information about what our next moves are with the game. You recall that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then today, not on the PlayStation blog, but on the Sony Interactive Entertainment blog. After Jason Schreier, being Jason Schreier from Bloomberg, broke the news on Twitter anyway, before this happened, the announcement was made that they are closing the studio, closing Firewalk Studio that made this game. Now, look, before I get into reading the statement and so forth, I just want to state, we already talked about how they say this game cost them like $200 million to make, how they were working on this game for like 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. Sony bought the studio for a good amount of money. And it didn't seem like it was panning out. And so I feel like the writing was on the wall.
Okay.
But it certainly wasn't. I do think that there may have been a possibility that they were going to do something different. However, we'll get into it. Before I read the statement, that's right, a full-on Concord fail, even though Concord was very well received, and all the people who played it seemed to really like it. So there's a bigger discussion there about what happened and why and so forth, which, we can get to. But before I read the statement, as sent out in an email by Herman Holst to the Sony family, if you will, and then before it was posted to the blog, what are your thoughts on this?
Initially, I feel like I don't think they should have been fired, especially if the game was received well. It just, I guess, wasn't promoted correctly, or something else fell through, probably on the line on Sony's part. But if they came and it took them 8 years, but obviously Sony was fine with that, and it came out and it was technically a good game. It just didn't click with people because we talked about it's probably old and dated and all that type of stuff. We've seen everything in other games. I don't know if that's necessarily on Firewalk's part, if they delivered at the end of the day. I mean, of course, there's more that's not being said that we'll probably get into, and they'll say in the statement or something like that. But just initial reaction is, I don't know if shutting them down, it seems harsh when they delivered on the product technically.
I mean, I guess I feel what you're feeling.
Yeah.
However, there's unfortunately not, in my opinion, space for those feelings in business. Like, I just think that isn't like, you got to do what makes the most business sense. Ellis said the head of the company played Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and said, bro, we can't beat this. I mean, probably. I mean, look, I don't know how long they worked on Sparking Zero. It took a long time, but, JSG says, nah, it was a garbage truck, but okay. I mean, look, maybe. I'll keep it a buck. I didn't play it. I also didn't have any interest in it, which, again, also might be part of the problem. Just Savage Gaming says, 1, no one asked for it. 2, character design was too wonky. And 3, where was the marketing? I'm going to answer those 3 things. 1, no one asked for it is maybe not correct. I would imagine that 8 years ago, when they started working on it, there was plenty of asking for it. I just think, like, gestating on something like that has those kind of ideas that at this point are old and tropey ideas now feels out of touch and out of place. And you're trying to course correct for the way that the industry is changing over the course of 8 years. You're talking about something that is longer than the lifespan of your gaming consoles. 8 years. Most consoles are 7 years. and then you're on to the next thing. So if you've been baking this since the last generation, probably trying to build an engine and or doing it on an older version of an engine that has been updated and so forth with ideas that were gestated back then, yeah, I'm sure somebody was asking for it. Because 8 years ago was like pre-Fortnite. You know what I mean? It's like, like it's a, you're talking early Overwatch, if anything. And there have been a lot that have come and gone in that time frame.
That's a tough genre to break into nowadays.
Yeah. From a character design standpoint, look, my personal opinion is the characters seem generic. But I do think that they had a plan in place around that, kind of trying to do what Overwatch did in terms of being like, oh, every week we're releasing a new animated short, which I guess was going to tell you the story or help you feel more connected to the characters. If this game had managed to come out before the Guardians of the Galaxy game came out, I think maybe people don't feel that way. But it certainly had nothing but Guardians of the Galaxy vibes.
It did, yeah.
When they finally did show it. 2 and 3, the marketing. Look, they waited until the last minute to really put it in front of anybody. When they did that, they didn't really tell you exactly what it was. I think that the plan for the marketing was intended to be the beta, which failed terribly, right? Like they released the beta. Nobody's on the beta. So then they open the beta to everyone else, and it still doesn't do well. It's up against Marvel Rivals. So now you have games that are very similar in terms of being hero shooters, and you have a bunch of characters nobody knows / generic versus something like Overwatch that already exists and Marvel Rivals, which
Apex
has characters everybody knows, right? So, the reality of it is, at this point, the characters in Apex are generic. The characters in Overwatch are generic. The characters in Valorant are generic. The characters in like all of these games, all the characters are generic. Like there isn't a whole lot new happening in those spaces at all, except for maybe some of the abilities and maybe some of what the weapons can do. My personal opinion is it's less about the characters now and more about the abilities, if anything. So the marketing, I think, failed because the beta was supposed to speak for it, and that didn't work. And so now they're in a place where they're trying to figure out, oh my goodness, what do we do? Right? Because that didn't work. We didn't get players. What players we did get, we can't keep. They dropped off pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Venom and Spider-Man over here swinging with Doctor Strange, and people are having a great time, and it works well. And
all those other ones we mentioned, they got a fan base already built into them for years now. So, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you're trying to pull 100%. From Overwatch, that's a tall order. You're trying to pull from Valorant, Apex, all those, that's a tall order. Trying to pull somebody off those. Yeah.
My personal opinion is that the marketing wasn't the issue. The characters weren't the issue. My opinion is that the decision to make it a $40 game and release it as a priced item was the issue, because all of the other competition is also already free.
Yep, all free.
It's free, right? So now you're asking people to pay for something, even though it's only $40.
A brand new IP.
In a landscape where everything else is free and nobody knows your characters.
Yep.
Right? And only asking $40 for what you're telling people is a complete game and a complete package makes people think you're lying, because it's only $40. So there's got to be something that's not there. There's got to be something that's missing. There's got to be something that is like free would have been better than 40, because 40 tells you it's half price, meaning it's not as complete as other things you can already get.
You got a point.
Even though those things are free.
Yeah.
So the idea in marketing and the way that you price it is just as important, if not more important, than anything else. Yeah. Had you come out and said free to play, look, if nothing else, it's $40, but it's free on PlayStation Plus, would have been a much better tactic. Then
I think they were just being greedy,
like
pretty
it's $40 across the board.
Yeah.
Right. So I think there were a lot of missteps, and I think those missteps were made because they knew they needed to find a good way to try to capture people, and they needed to make back the money they spent, and they didn't have a good plan in place already to do a battle pass, to do good cosmetics, to do any of that kind of stuff where they could pivot into something they could make free to play and still make that money up. And I think that's probably where we ended up. Exactly. People are still playing Warframe for that reason. You're absolutely right. Just Savage Gaming. People are playing Warframe, one, because they're already in. They're in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
They understand. They like what it does. They love the game. Even if people aren't talking about it, it's absolutely happening. They do a convention every year. It's super huge. They make major announcements every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just out there getting it. Doing one game. Doing it well and adding on content.
Keeping it going. Yeah.
Destiny hasn't been able to do that as successfully, right? Like there are a lot of other shooters, looter shooters, extraction shooters, hero shooters doing very similar things. And you're jumping into a landscape that's just already full of litter. I do want to read some of the statement.
Okay.
So again, this was from an internal email, and there's more to the email than just what happened with Firewalk. Sony also made a decision to close Neon Koi, which was another studio that they had. I'm not going to get into that particular part of it, but I will state from the point where they start talking about Firewalk. So, quote, regarding Firewalk, as announced in early September, certain aspects of Concord were exceptional, but others did not land with enough players, and as a result, we took the game offline. We have spent considerable time in these past few months exploring all our options. After much thought, we have determined the best path forward is to permanently sunset the game and close the studio. I want to thank all of Firewalk for their craftsmanship, creative spirit, and dedication. The PvP first-person shooter genre is a competitive space that's continuously evolving, and unfortunately, we did not hit our targets with this title. We will take the lessons learned from Concord and continue to advance our live service capabilities to deliver future growth in this area. I know none of this is easy news to hear, particularly with colleagues and friends departing SIE. That's Sony Interactive Entertainment. Mm-hmm. Both decisions were given serious thought, and ultimately we feel they are the right ones to strengthen the organization. Neon Koi and Firewalk were home to many talented individuals, and we will work to find placement for some of those impacted with our global community of studios where possible. I am a big believer in the benefits of embracing creative experimentation and developing new IP. However, growing through sustainable financials, especially in a challenged economic environment, is critical. While today is a difficult day, there is much to look forward to in the months ahead from the studio's business group and our teams. I remain confident that we are building a resilient and capable organization driven by creating unforgettable entertainment experiences for our players. Thank you for your continued support. Now, it's wonderful spin. It's beautiful. But the truth is, it's the reality, right? Of the business of gaming, of where we are. We're still on picket lines fighting for actors and actresses to have, the right things in place for them in terms of royalties, unionizing, all of that kind of stuff has an effect on that, right? So like if you're also a game that is planning to release an animated short every week with voice acting and motion capture and so forth over the course of the next year, how are you doing that while all of them are on strike if you haven't already shot it all? If you haven't already done it?
Yeah, you're not.
You're not.
Yeah.
Right. So even if the plan, if there's a possibility that they may have seen this through if it wasn't for the strike, the actor strike, right? It's possible that also kept them from being able to move forward and achieve what their plans were, because it's going to cost them. And now they don't have actors, actresses, and folks to do performance capture. How do you move forward, right? If that's the case. So I think that there are a lot of, fires in the pan that contributed to where this ended up.
And one of the things I took away from that was they say, they sat down, they looked at everything, tried everything. So what that tells me is free wasn't an option for Sony.
I mean, I think it's possible that it was, but it wasn't a solution that made sense because, again,
how much they spent on it,
isn't going to get you back what you've already spent. And when you consider keeping all of those people employed who are at that studio while you go free, you're not just trying to make up the money you've already spent. You still have to continue to pay salaries and take care of healthcare for people. And that's extremely expensive. So how do you do that? You need a plan that not only makes up for what you've already spent, you got to get out of the deficit, but you also have to keep yourself from digging a deeper deficit. And there's no way you do that under that circumstance if you go free, right? And you don't have a battle plan, you know what I mean? A battle pass or something in place to sell tons of skins. And I have to imagine that whatever you would have had to sell skins for your guns and for your characters and so forth, whatever you would have had to sell them for, nobody's buying them joints.
True.
Right? If you tell me, again, because you've already given it a price. So if you turn around now and you say, look, I'll sell you a skin pack that is, I don't know, 3 skins for 3 characters and 3 weapon skins for, I don't know, 5 weapons across those 3. And it's $20, right? That doesn't sound bad in the grand scheme of skin packs and whatever. Like Fortnite charged that all day.
Oh, yeah.
However, now you're telling me that 3 skins cost half of what the game costs?
Right. I got you.
Because you've already put a price tag on the game. You see what I'm saying? So now, how do you monetize that without it sounding terrible to anybody that's interested?
Yeah, it's sad. They end up digging themselves in a ditch with that one.
Yep. They just put themselves in a hole that they couldn't get out of. And I agree, it's sad, right? Because we're seeing a lot of this kind of stuff happen throughout the industry, studios shutting down, metrics not being hit, that kind of thing. There's a lot happening. One is that there are just so many choices, so many studios making so many games, so many game types. How do you choose, right? How do you pick where you're going to spend your time? If you're already bought into Call of Duty, even when you're done with whatever the newest quote unquote release is, Black Ops 6 currently, like right now, right?
Yeah.
You still have Warzone to play, and that'll keep you entertained. Even if you jump into something else for a little while, when the next one drops, you like, back to Call of Duty, that's my joint.
Yep.
Got my skins, got my, you know what I mean? Like my money's already in there. I'm there. I'm in the ecosystem, right? Yeah. How do you pull somebody away from that for something that is designed to more or less be a forever game, to like never let you go? It's not like stopping to play Dragon Age for 70 hours or like a Dragon for 40 hours or, even an Uncharted, just a simple single player. Like if Assassin's Creed was coming out this holiday, to be like, oh, okay, I'll spend 20, 30 hours in a new Assassin's Creed game or whatever. I'm still going back to shooting like once or twice a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like,
I'm
gonna knock this out in a week and I'll be back, right? You can have some balance, but like, there's not a lot of people who are balancing their shooters with other shooters.
Yeah, I don't do that. I switch genres. I always do 2 different genres: a shooter and a racer, something like that, to move through them together. So I don't if I start to get kind of tired of one, I can completely switch it up, refresh, come back, and just keep bouncing between the 2.
Sure. Yeah, look, it's sad. My heart goes out to the folks at both of those studios. It's an unfortunate series of events, but again, I think the writing was on the wall, and even though it doesn't necessarily feel right, that's what the reality of the business is. So, it is what it is. Now, on to happier news.
Okay.
So for the last few weeks, Jokes and I have been watching Agatha all along, Disney Plus. And there was a lull, and then the joint got right back on track, like real hard. Like real hard. We're coming up on the finale. If you guys haven't had a chance, all of our episodes for Spoiler Boys for Agatha All Along are live now, up through the last 2 episodes, which are happening tomorrow. And somehow through this weekend,
I feel
we're gonna record about that and get it to you next week. But while that was happening, in the background, I have very much been pointing my finger and saying, "Why you laughing, sis?"
Because I
Y'all
know
need
going
to be watching this Penguin. I'm gonna tell you what.
What?
Somebody listened finally.
That would
Isn't
be me.
that right?
That would be me. Yes. So I've been told I would. So, got up early Saturday. Was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and knock this out before I get back to anime and all the other stuff. And it got to a point where, at the end of a specific episode, I just sent him a picture. Like, I'm all in. Like, I'm here now.
No. Let's be a little more on point about that, because you sent a picture that came from the 5th and currently final episode of the season. Like, the season's not over.
Right.
But the episodes are like an hour long, and you watched every single episode.
Yeah, but I binge, so that's nothing.
Hold on. Don't do that. Don't do that. I told you the joint was dope. I told you it was dope. No spoilers. You're not ready to do that yet. But when it's over, we are. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's some Emmy nominations I personally believe are due for this show, and they look like this.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, sir. All day.
This is what it looked like.
She is smoking this thing.
Look, I know that Christina Milioti has been in other stuff. Whatever. Sophia Falcone, she is smoking this role. Like, there's definitely something to be said for Colin Farrell. Like, you never even, it's not like you forget that the Penguin is Colin Farrell. You don't even think about Colin Farrell.
No, that's straight.
You don't
Penguin,
even put it.
Cobblepot. That's just him when you're watching it.
But I'm trying to tell you, and maybe part of it is because like we got some of that in the movie in The Batman, but she's killing this joint.
I low-key kind of see her as the main role right now.
Yes.
Just straight up. Like, I'm all behind her character 1,000%.
In a lot of ways, it's about her.
Yeah.
I mean, this is clearly a story of Penguin's come up. But I'm going to tell you what. From the first time you see her in an episode and it feels like it's kind of minuscule, it takes off. Like, it just goes through the roof, and it's nonstop. And I'm talking like, this show is Sopranos level TV within the Batman universe. like as it should be. Like Batman's main adversaries really are gangsters. Like that's the era.
Yeah.
And this is some mob mentality. This joint is all of that. It's all kinds of people playing people and backstabbing and switching and crushing. Like it's real out here. This episode's gotta go, guys. I love my patron. Once these checks roll in, love y'all. Good night. Hey man, appreciate you.
All right, fam.
Seriously, dude. If you can tune in at all over the weekend while we're doing Extra Life, by all means, tune in. Always a pleasure. Again, glad to see that you're, got the new gig and all of that. Always all love. Truly appreciate you. Sophia Falcone.
All day. Yes. I'm loving the character. I'm loving what she's doing with it. And she is, like I said, the crazy ones always do it for me.
I mean, there's some truth to that. That thing there. Smoke diddly yoking, bro. You hear me?
Oh yes.
Me and that Flanders, bro. Smoke diddly yoking, bro. But literally, like killing the role. Like outside of that, like straight up putting her foot all in this role. Like pound for pound.
That last episode, that 5. Oh my
killing
Lord.
Yeah. Candace, I'm trying to tell you. Like
even the bit spoiler boys type stuff. Yeah.
You don't need to see the movie The Batman. I don't think to enjoy it, but it does like take place basically like within a couple of weeks after
directly after
the movie happens. So it helps, but it's really not necessary at all. But in terms of like kind of where they are in the beginning, like in the first episode and the aftermath of what happened, it's helpful. But nah, man, like
I could 1000% go for staying in this universe and doing a different villain next time around. And
100%.
And you know who I would love to see get this treatment? Clayface.
So here's the thing.
I think they can smoke a Clayface.
I'm not against it, but I do. Look. Here's the thing. There's something special about staying like grounded in terms of dealing with like characters that don't have powers, so to speak. And so, like, while I do think you're right, doing a Clayface could be crazy.
Hollywood, all the stuff going on, switching to different people and roles and everything. It's something.
It's the Clayface person part. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's how they
feel like that's part of it.
Off.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, I think they could.
Penguin works really well because the nickname fits. It makes sense for like a mob thing. It's kind of a thing they use to make fun of them. It's just like, I walk this way. I got a club foot. Like there's just all these other things that like kind of filter into it to make it really work and feel grounded. Like it feels grounded. Joe is so good. Like it's just.
When do they air? When does the next episode drop?
Sundays.
Okay, Sundays. Okay.
They drop on Sundays on Max.
Okay.
So
good after Extra Life. I don't gotta worry about it till then.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. I mean, look. As much as I'm looking forward to the final 2 episodes of Agatha all along, in the background the whole time I'm like, dog, but the Penguin is like cooking right now.
Like I know Penguin is the show's called Penguin, so I'm really looking forward to how these last 2 episodes pan out, considering everything that just happened. So, yeah,
it's about to be war, bro. Like the war path.
And somebody about to go on. It's gonna be deadly. Body's about to. I was about to say body's about to start dropping.
Already bodies, bro.
Yeah, it's bodies,
bodies already. Like Yeah, it's that joint isn't. It is incredibly well written. It's really like the cinematography is incredible in terms of just like the way they frame stuff up. Music is very background, but still is also very like it just kind of pulls you in. And what they do give you from a character standpoint, like the character development has been so good over like 5 episodes.
I hate the Joker. I mean, not Joker, the Penguin. I hate him in this show so much. But like he's killing like he's bodying the Penguin. You know what I mean? But like the character, he just makes me so bad. Like Oswald makes me so bad watching.
Like the Penguin.
Well, yeah, he's a bad guy, yeah. But like just this portrayal of him, you know what I mean? Just seeing how he's maneuvering through the different families and all that type of stuff. Like
that's part of what
I would shoot you in the face.
It's part of what's so good about it though.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's such a jerk, but he also has like he's got this story. There's this like underlying thing happening with him in the background that you like, all right. Then he got this like fresh sidekick that you like, hey man, come on, bro. Like
it's a lot going on. Yeah.
It's a lot happening, but none of it, there's a lot happening. None of it is hard to follow.
No.
All of it makes like really great sense. And again, the twists or the things that like maybe joke like Penguin is doing in the background, and then you see the outcome of what at least he was attempting to make happen. Some of the things that he does pull off are just like some of the most brilliant, like, ooh, skin of your teeth, bro. Like you really
he be quick on it with the bounce back. Like something happened, he'll make up a story so quick.
all the time.
And flow with it. Yeah.
All the time, bro. Like it's just, yeah, that joint is I've been so in. And when Sin texted me, again, when he texted me the picture, I was like, 1, leave my shorty alone. 2,
can't do that.
2, again, with like I was like, oh, my man is on the last episode. We just straight watched 5 episodes of we in there.
Yeah. I'm here.
It's a good watch. We're trying to get jokes in, but like, you know.
Well, hey, it is what it is.
Hey, look, if you miss out, you miss out. Hey, look, it'll be fine. You're missing Agatha. He's missing Penguin.
Ta-da!
You know what I mean? Like,
it all works out.
All works itself out. All right, look, let's talk about Extra Life over the next few minutes. Kind of talk about what the schedule is like for this weekend. Some things could change, but for the most part, we're pretty set in stone. Sin, you want to go over what the schedule looks like for us?
Yeah.
Let's just start with Friday and go through that.
All right, Friday, everybody. We will be starting at 1:00, going from 1 to 10. We're opening up with Golf with Friends from 1 to 3, followed by Dead Island 2 from 3 to 5. Each day we're taking a lunch break. So Friday we're going to do a lunch break for an hour from 5 to 6 with WWE 2K24. We're going to pick wrestlers and have them, have the computer wrestle each other and make bets on who's going to win, lose, stuff like that. Next we're going to do Full Metal Furies from 6 to 8 and closing out Friday with Space Marines 2 from 8 to 10. So
indeed, Warhammer Space Marines 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're running 9 hours. And again, with the hour lunch in there, again, there will be something happening, but again, that 2K. So the 1 hour WWE 2K24 is going to happen every day.
Yes.
Like dead in the middle of the streams. We'll talk to you all about maybe picking who should wrestle who, but we are letting the computer do the wrestling.
I think I want to do that for Friday and Sunday, and Saturday since Crown Jewel's on, we could probably run the 2 main championship matches and see if have the if they can predict who's going to win that evening. So it's an option. It's an option.
Let's talk about Saturday. Schedule for Saturday.
All right. So Saturday we are starting at 11 o'clock. We'll be going from 11 to 8. We're starting the day off with Moving Out 2 from 11 to 1, followed by Diablo from 1 to 3. Then we'll have our lunch break with 2K24 from 3 to 4, followed by Mass Effect 3 from 4 to 6, and finishing out Saturday with Call of Duty Zombies from 6 to 8.
That's right. I said Mass Effect 3.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Get sweaty with it for a little bit. Get a little sweaty before we jump into Call of Duty. You know, shoot up some zombies. That's going to be a fun mess.
Get sweatier.
Yeah. See, that's the Call of Duty. Mass Effect is the workout. The actual game is that COD.
I don't know. It's going to be some sweat regardless. But, you know, here's the thing. We're changing things up. Honestly, for the last 10 years, we've pretty much played Grand Theft Auto every year.
Yeah.
This year, we've decided to take a break. We have been doing this for 10 years. And so the game's been out for 10 years.
That's funny.
It is. But, you know, at this point, we've decided to kind of do some things a little bit differently. We have not ever done Call of Duty.
Not once.
For an Extra Life. And, you know, there's a couple of factors. One, Game Pass. Two, zombies. It's just
a match made in heaven.
Yeah, just, you know what I mean? It works itself out. So Sunday, it's going to be a little different. So unfortunately, as of right now, Jokes is not going to be able to join us on Sunday. So there are a couple of things happening. Because Jokes, if you recall, if you have ever watched us do Extra Life before, there are a couple of ways that this works. You can go to the link that Sin shared earlier, and you can donate directly to the team as a whole. You also have an option to choose any member from the team and donate directly to them. So we all have individual goals of our own, but there is also a team goal. Any donation that goes to any one of us also applies to the team goal. Because Jokes technically only has 2 days, he has less time to attempt to achieve his goal this year because he won't be there to play. Now, that doesn't mean you can't donate to him on Sunday. However, in true Loading Snacks Extra Life fashion, we all kind of have some goals that we've set up for ourselves that if we hit those goals, we have snacks that we're going to try or things like that. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But if you donate the Jokes on Sunday and Jokes isn't there, I don't know how you're going to make him. Maybe we'll figure out how to make him stuff for later. But
maybe he has to make it for it on Tuesday or something like that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it does mean, though, that, you know, for what his goals are and maybe trying to get him to his target, you know, trying to get him there Friday and Saturday might be a little bit more important than it had been in years past. Now, because Jokes won't be with us Sunday, call some audibles. Let's go through what the schedule looks like.
All right. So for Sunday, we're starting at 10. We're going from 10 to 7 on Sunday. We're starting off with The First Descendant from 10 to 12, followed by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 12 to 2. We'll do our lunch break with 2K24 after that from 2 to 3. Right now, we have Dead or Alive 5 from 3 to 5, and we're closing the day with Baldur's Gate from 5 to 7. And we do have a possible bonus of a Phasmophobia to come after that. So just depends how the day turns out.
Yeah, there's also a possibility that the Phasmophobia thing will be based on a goal that we'll set for us hitting that goal. If we hit the goal, we will play Phasmophobia. Some of us will play Phasmophobia. But more than likely what will happen is we will schedule that to happen on a separate day, and we'll do a separate playthrough for that. So Frosty is going to join us for Baldur's Gate on Sunday as we kind of close things out. She is also going to be playing other things throughout the weekend, but will be joining us directly for playing Baldur's Gate. Dead or Alive 5, possibly on the chopping block. We are probably going to be playing Ghost of Tsushima Legends.
Yep, the multiplayer.
Instead of doing that, we'll see. But that's probably what's going to end up happening in that place. And again, we'll kind of configure/reconfigure or whatever as necessary.
Right.
But as any changes come up, we'll let you know what those changes are. Zaina will also be playing Phasmophobia should we hit our goals. Talk about what that goal is later. And when I say later, I mean not today. But by the time we're ready to get started on Friday, we'll let you know what that is. Now, having said that, we have some individual goals we want to hit, and there's a team goal. So, for the team, as some of you have probably already seen the post on our Instagram and on our stories, for every $300 we earn as a team, and again, that comes whether you donate directly to the team or you donate to us individually, it still counts towards the team goal.
Right.
For every $300 we earn, Zaina and I are going to try one of the Hot Ones sauces every time that happens. Now, I think the plan is to like hit up Wendy's for like the 40 nugget.
The $15 for the 50 nuggets, yeah.
Or we might have to just go ahead and get one of them plattery trays from Chick-fil-A.
Get the nuggets.
You know what I'm saying? And really could even do tenders. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Either way, we're going to get that sorted. Don't worry about that. We're going to do some sauces. In what is always a thing for us every year, swear jar rules are in play.
I'm already going to make a donation.
Well, you should be making a donation anyway. It shouldn't have anything to do with your swear jar. You can't make a swear jar donation to block out your swear jar. You should just be making a donation for the sake of making a donation, and then whatever you do for your swear jar, it goes in. That's how that works. You know what I'm saying? $1 for every swear from the person who swears. Trying to keep it clean for the kids. I'm trying to pay the price for not keeping it clean for the kids. Could that happen?
I got cash on hand for my swear jar.
Good.
I mean, pulled out an even 100, and that don't just sitting there.
Yeah,
I got 40 to start with.
We know you have the weakest. You know what I mean? Now, something new this year. Generally speaking, we play on Xbox. It looks like we're possibly going to be doing a little bit of PlayStation this year. Every time one of us earns an achievement or trophy, I'm gonna throw trophies in there just in case. $2 donation every time we get an achievement. Okay. Now, I'll let y'all talk about what y'all goals are and what y'all are doing. For me, this is not about the snacks I'm going to eat. That's for later. There's going to be some things that are on the table. But once I hit $500, for every $100 I earn, for me, every $100 that gets donated to me, I'm donating $20. After 500, for every 100 I get, I'm donating 20. That's where I'm at on that. Are there going to be a lot of gummy bears? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, all around.
Oh, I got gummy bear stack.
Are there some unheard of snacks kind of sitting, milling around the area? Absolutely. There will be some surprises. Sin?
Yeah.
I know you have some things planned. Let's talk about what you got for your personal goals and so forth.
I have a lot of snacks planned out.
True.
From pretty much starting from 100 all the way up to about 700. I will every $100 though.
What's your total goal this year?
1,000.
Okay.
1,000. So, but every $100 though, I will be doing a shot of the Hot Ones vodka along with their Hot Ones Pringles. So every time I hit 100, every time
Hot Ones thing.
Until the bottle and the chips are gone, every time I just take another shot of that, and that's probably gonna be absolutely disgusting, along with a couple Pringles, along with a few Pringles.
I also want to say, could make for some interesting zombies by the end of Saturday night.
Ooh.
I just want to say,
and I'm all for it. I don't know. Well, I can't display every snack I have right now because some won't be here till Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a soda that will follow that at 200. I got a bag of chips that will follow that at 3, and then 4 back to soda.
So I just want to, for clarification's sake.
Yeah. Yes.
At $200, you do the soda, and you do the
vodka,
shot,
and
you do a chip.
Yeah.
$300, chips, vodka, chips.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then go back and forth between the sodas that are still being delivered and the chip I got all the way up to like $700. And then at 800, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to the Lotus Snacks Anime Chat podcast, but they have been begging me to watch Umazaki, which is this horror thing. And I said, absolutely not. I'm not watching it. But because it's Extra Life, $800, I will watch the entire thing in Discord, and you all can sit in and watch with me, and we can set that up like a thriller park type of thing. And I will watch this creepy ass disturbing show. It's like 4 episodes, I think, so it's not like it's super long or anything like that. So I'll do that.
Yeah, how big that was? We would already have one in the swear jar if it was Friday.
Oh, done. Over.
Yeah.
I go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I will do that at like I said, at 800. And at 1,000, I will download and play the Quiet Place game and stream it for everybody to watch me. Yeah, I'll do that.
I love like for the children. I love it, Sin.
Yeah,
because he has no faith
that he's going to hit his goal
to 1,000. He don't have no faith.
That's horrible, man.
If I get 1,000, then I'll be stuck playing that thing and having to keep my mouth shut while I'm playing that because you cannot make a sound while playing that game. Yep.
I'm waiting for your cat to just run past and do something crazy.
I will lock him out the room.
Can't nah.
Ah.
No
Fair enough. But yeah, I'll do that when I hit 1,000. So
jokes
those are my goals.
Let's talk about your personal goals, sir.
Got it.
What's your total goal?
I'm going for 1,000. Same just like Sin. Couple things that I had like slightly. I'm going to talk about because I'm also going to have the Hot Ones challenge on, but I'm going to do slightly different from the overall of the team because I'm going to be taking shots of like the last half of it. So like there is going to be no like wing to probably cool stuff down a little bit. But to kick things off, the first $100, something that I had from last year that I'm going to do because it never got done. We're going to start things out a little spicy. So we're going to go with the Ghost Pepper Soda. I still have that.
So that's the same one from last year?
It's the same one from last year. Hey, listen, the expiration date. Hold up. Nope. I checked the expiration date. Hold on. Where is it? It was still good. I was actually pretty surprised. Shit, I have to find it. Well, that was already swear jar. Oh. But it's still good. So that's going to be the first $100. For me, as I hit each 100, I'm going to be going through each one of the sauces on there for it.
So wait. at $100,
Mhm.
you're doing the ghost pepper soda and the hot ones joint.
No, it's one at a time. Listen,
Bro,
we gotta get to the end.
I am trying to clarify what you're saying so the chat don't eat you up.
That's fine. Cool.
So the first 100 ghost pepper soda, every 100 after that,
we're going to be doing one of the hot ones. Now there is going to be some stopping points in between. So $500.
Because your asshole gonna be burning. That's why.
Dog, maybe we should turn the
jar.
swear jar.
Come on, man.
Turn that on.
It ain't the weekend yet.
Listen. Don't try to get it all out your system now. And I'm trying to keep this show.
He's trying to, but
trying to get it all out your system now.
At $500, a sin. I managed to get the sour black death candy. Yes, I managed to get my hands on it. It's on its way. So that's going to be my 500 to go ahead and try to eat one of these. Supposedly, this is like the most sourest candy like that you can currently get right now. So we're going to see how well that goes. Now, my major goal. Once I hit 1,000, we should be rounding up. We should be getting to. I'm going to probably have to double up on this. I haven't done the math on the calculate. It's whatever. We're going. But when I get to 1,000, by then I'm trying to be to the top of the Hot Ones challenge. But I have a bonus. If I can get to 1,500, the dab, which I believe is the hottest one, and I'm also going to take the black sour candy and dip that in it and eat that. That's going to be the 1,500 goal.
All right, hold on.
Good luck to you.
Hey, look, I got faith in. I have faith.
Hey, listen, look. As I was saying, I think just before you got in, you only have 2 days to get it done. So I just want to say, the reason why you are not going to be here to do this with us on Sunday is because you have to work.
Yep.
I also want to say that if you get to $1,500 before Saturday is over, you calling out Sunday anyway, dog.
You probably right. You probably right.
It ain't gonna be no. You ain't gonna make it.
Nope.
However,
probably right. It's for the kids.
Now my base goal is 1,500. It's always 1,500. So I have every intention of hitting that. And again, look, if each of us can get to our goal, we will obviously surpass our goal of 3,000 as a team, right? Because we also do have Frosty playing, and we also do have Zayna playing. Well, I think Zayna's goal is 700 this year.
Okay.
I'm not sure what Frosty's goal is. But again, look, I don't necessarily expect for all of us to max it out. But I would absolutely love to do it. I would love to do it for our 10th anniversary of Loading Snacks. I would love to do it for the 10th anniversary of us doing this. Like, this is our 10th year doing Extra Life. I would love to see it happen. I always want us to do better than we did the previous year. You know, that's the point. It's so for a good cause. I'm all in. I as much as I do want to see some of these folks suffer and don't mind doing some suffering myself as well. Again, this is probably my favorite thing that we do in terms of charity. Anything. So there are a couple of other things that I have that are lined up that we're looking at. We're looking at 10th anniversary shirts and donating the proceeds from the 10th anniversary shirts to this. Again, by Friday, we'll have all that worked out for you. You'll see things get posted and so forth to the Instagram and so forth. Again, just follow the Beacons link that Tim put up for you earlier.
And in fact, I'll throw it back in there now.
Yeah. More than anything, we just want to have a good time and raise money for a good cause. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm very excited about it.
Agreed.
You know, this year. So, that about does it for us for this episode. I do kind of want to go back over what our schedule looks like. Again, we have Extra Life this weekend, streaming all 3 days to raise money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Please tune in if you can. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Please share the links. As you see the links go up, every little bit helps. So please do. And again, you don't have to wait until Friday to start donating. You can donate now. So please do that. Next week, we are getting together in the evening on Saturday for the 10th anniversary of Loading Snacks. We'll get you the information for time and place. But again, we're looking at just like Dave and Buster's to go and play some video games and kind of hang out and just spend some time together and celebrate what Loading Snacks has been and the time frame that we've been doing it, and hopefully get a chance to do that with some of the folks who are listening now, who are watching now, who have helped us build what we have along the way. Also, on the way to that next week, again, we'll be putting together some of our favorite moments and talking about some of our favorite moments over the last 10 years. If you've been watching our Instagram, Kay's been doing a great job of kind of posting some of the awesome moments for stuff that we've had over the years. And it's been really cool to see people commenting and liking and talking about some of the things that like maybe they remember or they didn't realize they hadn't seen before. It's been kind of great to revisit some of those things. So again, look for us to do some of that next Tuesday as we prep to do a 10th anniversary celebration together live and in person. The following Saturday on the 16th, we will be at Nerdpocalypse hosting, having shenanigans as is normal. And then we get, again, a little bit of a break. And then second weekend of December, we are at Ocean City Comic-Con for 2 days. We have 2 panels. The first panel is the top 10 animated Disney villains of all time. It's going to be a great time. We will, on the path to this, be discussing this and talking about Disney villains throughout, episodes of Weekly as we kind of build our way into that panel. And then on Sunday, we are doing what is like our panel, the Being Comfortable Being a Geek panel. We have a very special guest who is joining us for that. Her name is Lainey Cat, awesome cosplayer, really cool person who's going to be there with another friend of ours, and she's going to join us for the panel. So it'll be great to get some insight from another person who has spent a lot of time in this world, dealing and living in pop culture and so forth, and kind of getting some insight there. So just want to invite, again, anybody who's going to make it down to Ocean City, or if you haven't thought about doing that yet, look up Ocean City Comic-Con. I highly recommend it. This is the first year that it's 2 days, but it has earned that 2 days
100%.
over the last like 6 or 7 years of doing a single day and just having a really, really great show. And we're really happy and proud to have been able to be a part of that from the very beginning. So we have that. And then New Year's, we have Popeyes and Pajamas. And then 3 weeks later, we have MagFest. And then 2 weeks later, we have Awesome Con.
Just about.
No. February.
February's catch. Oh no.
We have Stellar Con. We have Stellar Con.
Potentially.
And then possibly Tattoo.
Big Lick potentially.
Yes. So yes. So Big Lick, Stellar, possibly Katsu, followed by March with Awesome Con.
Oh, no, that's BlurCon. BlurCon.
Yeah.
Awesome Con in April. It's a lot. And maybe Puerto Rico Comic Con in April as well. And then May happens. It's gonna be May. So yeah, 2025 is already very busy at the very beginning, and that's like without talking about what movies are coming out or all the games that are coming out and get pushed back to the beginning of that year, and so forth. Tons happening.
Assassin's Creed is February too. God.
Yep. Another one in the swear jar jokes. So look, even though all of that is coming and is on the horizon, The week is not over. We had Loading Sex Movie Club yesterday. We had a great talk about Van Helsing. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, by all means, go and make sure you check that out on our YouTube.
Definitely,
Or go to the Loading Sex Movie Club page and watch there. Obviously, we had this today. Tomorrow, wrestling stuff. There's a recording for wrestling and some predictions for
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel.
Yeah. I don't know whose joint that is. I just know it's in the middle of the day. It is unfortunately happening while we're doing, extra life.
So yeah, it's going to get neglected.
Oh, it has to, but
it's going to get watched
for
as
the
soon
kids.
As we shut it down.
And then Thursday, you get your anime chat podcast plus Thriller Park in the evening before we get into Friday and do Extra Life all day. So like we're in your face for the next 7 days straight. Like it is
easy,
what it is.
Yeah, easy.
You know what I'm saying? So that wouldn't be a thing that we do or wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for folks like y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out, for paying attention, for being around, for commenting, for liking, for sharing, for showing up at panels, at conventions, for saying hi. Like all of those things means the world to us. Thank you so much for doing that. Between now and Tuesday, go vote. Go vote. Go get your voice heard. Go vote. That's it. Jokes?
Yes, sir.
Tell the people what I need them to know.
Remember, y'all, just because you have a well thought out plan doesn't make it a good idea.
With that, we're out. Toodles and lose.
Loading snacks.